Good morning, my friends. Happy Fun Friday. I hope you are all doing well. It's time for my favorite part of the day. It's time for math question of the day. Yeah. So before I jump into today's math question of the day, I'm going to quickly go over yesterday's math question of the day. So we had to write numbers the say 10 way that came before and after a number. So I'm just going to do this really quick with you. Right here we have 10 and 2. So yesterday I talked about how we can just really pay attention to the ones, the group of ones, and that's going to help us figure out what's going to come next. So we have before 10, and what number comes before the number 2 when we count? So number 1. So we have 10 and 1. Then over here we're going to have 10 and what's going to come after 2? 3. Okay. Then we jump down here to 10 and 6. Sorry if my hand starts erasing some of the numbers. So before 10 and 6, we need to have 10 and 5. So we have 10 and 5. And then the number that comes after 6 is what? 10 and 7. Okay. This one's a little tricky. These two at the bottom are kind of tricky, so I hope that you paid attention to these numbers here, okay? So we've got 10, and what comes before the number 1? 0. So if you don't have 1, you don't even have 1, you have 0. So 10 and 0, and then after it is 10 and, sorry, my D looks kind of wonky, 10 and 2. This one's really tricky, and I'll show you why. 10 and what comes before 9? Our 8. That's our one less number, 8. And then this one's tricky because we want to say we know that 10 and 10 makes 20. So if you put 20 and 0, that's fine by me. But we can also look at this as 10 and another group of 10. So that one's kind of tricky. 20 gets a little tricky when we count the say 10 way. So I'm fine if you wrote 20 and 0, okay? So there's that. And then before we get into today's math question of the day, because the teen numbers are kind of tricky, I'm going to show you that trick that I was telling you. So the whole reason we were counting the say 10 way, going 10 and 1, 10 and 2, the way that we were counting like that, talking about the teen numbers, is for this trick right here, so that we can see that it's a group of 10 and then some more ones, okay? So here we've got 10 and 2. So here's the trick. The 2 can slide right over your 0, and now you have, what number is that? That's our 12. And then we can take the 2 away, we move it, and we can see that there's a 10 hiding underneath. So the 0 is really just hiding underneath the ones. So this number right here tells us how many groups of 10 we have. And then this number tells us how many ones we have. So this is 10 and 2 becomes 12. Same with this. So, whoops, I put down the wrong thing. Same with this. We've got 10 and 8. But we can slide the 8 on top of the 0. And now, I didn't cut that very well. We'll hold it out like that. Now we've got 18. We always had 18 with 10 and 8, but now we can see that it's 18. But now we know that this 1 here isn't just like 1, it means 10. So you don't just have 1 and 8 things, you actually have 10 and then 8 more things. So that's kind of the whole reason we did this, is so that you can realize that this 1 right here isn't just like 1, uno, it's 10. It's actually a 10. And then we'll do it one more time. 10 and 1. So now we can look at 11 and we know that we write it using 2 ones, but when we were counting out, or if we're trying to explain how many this actually is, like to a littler kid, they might look at this and they think, oh, there's 2 ones, so there's 2. But that's not how many it is. You really have 10 and then another 1, okay? which is why when we do the say 10 way that for 20, we did 10 and 10, just so that we can see that it was 2 groups of 10. So that's kind of why we did that. But you knew that it was 20. I had a couple kids who wrote 20 and 0, so you were still thinking of how many groups of ones you had. And you're right, if we did have a group of 10 and another group of 10, we would just have 2 groups of 10. So you could say like 2, 10, 0. That one's a hard one. We always have a tricky time with that one. So I'm pretty flexible with the 20 because it's kind of a weird one. So today, we're back to number bonds, which we love. And all you have to do is break down our teen numbers using a 10, okay? So 10 goes into each of these spots. And you know what? I think I'm going to write that so that we know. Because there are some crazy ways that you could break down 19 and 17. But I want to see you do it with 10s. So all you have to tell me is how many ones should go here. So if we've got a 10 here and a 10 here, what's going to go here and here? Okay? Does that sound good? Sound like a plan? I hope it's not too hard. I know that this math module is kind of tricky. It's thankfully not super duper long, and then we'll kind of be talking about this, and then we get to end the year revisiting our favorite thing, shapes. And we'll talk about some more addition and subtraction too, okay? All right, my friends, here it is again. You're going to complete the number bond. We have 19 up here, 17 here, and then they each have 10 as one of the parts. So you just have to tell me what the other missing part is, okay? All right, my friends, I miss you. I hope you're doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.